Namo Buddha, Namaste. I am moving about a little bit today because I went up to my place on the hill, the little mountain, and my plastic sheeting, tarpaulin, has gone. Not to worry, whoever's taken it probably has a very good use for it, and I'm sure that is the case. It was something that was provided to me. I had good use from it. Although it was well hidden, it is now no longer there. So I had nowhere to sit, and there seemed to be a lot of ants around just at the moment. And sitting on the playing ground with the ants is a little disturbing when you're trying to talk. So apologies for the moving background. If it makes you feel a little bit unwell, just look away and listen. If it doesn't, maybe you'll spot something interesting in the background rather than just looking at me. And I'm wanting to wish you a very happy and peaceful new year, and use this opportunity to just talk very briefly, as we're on the move a little today, about change. Each year that comes along, 2020, 21, 22, and now 23, I think, since I've been here in India, is a conventional time marker we use to mark change. But of course things are changing all of the time, anicca. And if we don't embrace change, accept change for what it is, it results in dukkha, which is translated, as you probably know by now, as suffering or unsatisfactoriness. And what we need to know is that these changes are out of our control, externally and internally, physically and mentally. That is anatta, or translated as not self. Now these are the fundamental faculties I've talked about quite often, and I always come back to them because they are not subject to change. These three fundamental faculties, the Four Noble Truths, do not change. The truth of suffering, the cause of suffering, the end of suffering, and the path leading to the end of suffering, this stays the same. But it doesn't change the fact that all conditioned things, everything in this universe, is subject to change. Now, we as human beings mark this with calendars, with special dates, birthdays, New Year, etc. You don't have to go far. I'm soon to have a change. I'm going on a journey. I'm going to Thailand. My visa days are numbered and I have to leave the country, and then I can return and continue for the rest of my stay for this quite long visa I have. But this will be a change. I'll have a change of physical location excuse me, and to some extent my emotions will be changing. I will be dealing with different culture, a different culture. I will be then physically also changing, adapting to different food, different time zone, different sleeping conditions and places. Where that'll be, I do not know yet, so please keep watching. There's going to be some interesting videos ahead as I go with my few requisites. You've seen me travelling to Bangalore and returning to here, and I only take my bowl, my 3 robes, razor, water filter, belt, and needle and cotton. I think that's my 8 things. I will be taking, in addition to that, my shoes and this phone to make any videos and any necessary visa things, photographs and what have you have to do at airports these days and such like. So, but very little to take with me, and when I get there there's not much other than the support of the people of Thailand that I will hope be able to give me some food each day. And I know some monasteries where I will be able to find accommodation, and also some places in forests where I can stay also. So it should be interesting, but it's change. Now, what we can do, if change is something that disturbs us, is understand it better. And by understanding change, we take away or soften the element of suffering. Now, the best way to understand it is to see the consistency in it, the surety that there is always change. And this gives us some kind of stability in its very self. There's only one sure thing, and that is we will die. Some people say in England there's an expression, there's only two things that are certain, death and taxes. Well, taxes aren't even certain. Not everybody is paying tax. But death, certainly. I don't want to be miserable on this New Year's Day, but knowing this, knowing the reality, knowing the facts of life, mean that we can fully understand change as it comes along and appreciate the positive sides that go with it. Because of course, if everything stayed the same, how bored would we get? What you're doing as human beings, those of you who are not really deep in samadhi most of the time, is constantly looking for change. If you were to watch a movie or a television screen or even read a book and it was just a single picture with no audio, or the words were just the same word all the way through the book, there'd be no change, there'd be no interest, there'd be nothing to captivate the attention or generate any sensual stimulation or satisfaction of your sensual desires. And therefore it would be a fruitless exercise. Now, of course, these things are all fruitless exercises, and we have designed them to stimulate our attention and to stop this feeling of boredom arising that we often blame to prevent us from meditation. And this is a question I've had recently. I mean, how do you deal with boredom? Again, it's about understanding it. Understanding that for this moment in time, things are not changing. And boredom is just as a result of a little bit of anger, which comes from the root defilement of hatred. There are levels of levels of the root defilement of hatred, from right at the top there, hatred, down to just a bit of dissatisfaction and being bored with the lack of change. So if we see this as an obstacle, we can understand it and overcome it by accepting it for what it is, simply where something is not changing. Now, meditation isn't going to establish within us anything permanent of a conditioned nature, a conditional nature, because all things that are conditional on external circumstances and even thoughts are of course not permanent. And what we're looking for in meditation is the permanent realization of these truths, of the fundamental faculties of existence, the Four Noble Truths, and this is what gives us the energy, the power, the strength to follow that Noble Eightfold Path. So with my wishes to you for a very happy and peaceful New Year, I also wish that you can find time to be kind to yourself in this practice of Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila, this moral virtue, Samadhi, meditation, and Panya, the development of our minds. In this practice, you can find some stability, some certainty in change, but through understanding, through wisdom, and therefore generate within yourself a form of permanent contentment. Whatever your circumstances are around you, be content that that is the way they are. Now, my arm is beginning to ache because I am holding the phone as it is, for some time now. And if I don't change, then this discomfort would increase. So sometimes change is for a good reason. Other times we may lose someone we love dearly through that sure thing of death, or we just may part company through differences of opinion. And this change makes us feel sad. And what is the feeling of sad? It is the feeling, the symptom of discontentment. Happiness is the result, a symptom if you like, of contentment. When we are content, we feel happy emotionally, and it has its physical aspects also. Now, of course, when we are discontent, when we haven't got what we want or we have something we don't want, we are sad. And this is the symptom of discontentment. And it makes us feel emotionally sad and physically down. So we can find in meditation this contentment if we try, not try too hard, but find the time to spend each day a little alone, sitting quietly, simply watching something as basic as the breath, breathing. The breathing in and the breathing out. And even if you just stand on the spot for a few moments during the day, breathe in, breathe out, and notice it's only a very short time. Your whole body just relaxes for that moment. And there, in that very moment, in that fraction of time, there is a form of permanent contentment, which ultimately does lead to Nibbana. So, with this, I wish you this very happy and peaceful beginning to 2023, and a long, long, long time of contentment and therefore happiness into the future. So be happy, be well. Sukhi hotu, sukhi hotu, sukhi hotu. Namo Buddhaya.